Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is George. This is Trading Futures Live. I'm here with Franco. It is day 7 for us of live streaming. Market's going to open up in about 9 minutes. And in the news today, we've got really no major news today. We have a couple of orange folders. Yellen is speaking at 9:45, and then some FOMC members at 1 o'clock and 3 p.m. We also have, well, as far as news goes, that's pretty much it. In the overnight over here, most markets are up. Everything is above yesterday's close. This dotted line here is yesterday's close for the ES, the NQ, the Russell, and the Dow. So everything is up right now. The VIX has obviously been dropping with the markets going up. We've got gold is up as well. And crude is the only one that's down. Crude had a terrible day yesterday. Crude is down quite a bit. I think Franco told me I had like a 10% drop from about 108 down to 101. Franco's thinking mostly that's off of China news, China being shut down, and so low demand for fuel, which is going to be nice to see at the pump in the next few weeks if it can stay down there at around 100 or even below 100. And the dollar is semi-flat. It broke out to the, it's been mostly under yesterday's close. It broke out for a little bit at 5:30 a.m., but we're back below yesterday's close. So interesting day for me. Sell the rallies. I'm still looking to sell the rallies, so this update for me is somewhat interesting. But with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Franco.
Hey, good morning. Franco here. Welcome back to the channel. We had a pretty interesting day yesterday. We're coming off of the demand that we had marked up at 12,170, right? And it's yet to see what are we going to experience today in the markets. If I go to the if I go here to what I do every day, which is the context, I don't have a clear scenario for today. Now, we have to be aware of this. In this type of markets, the rallies are brutal because it's fueled by short covering, right? So we have a neutral dollar, a neutral bullish yen, and here is bullish, and then we have bonds bullish, right? The 10-year yield yesterday went up to 320, and right now is at the 10-year is at 2.973. So it's coming off of the 3% psychological barrier, right? So remember, mostly tech is very sensitive to the yield because a high percentage of companies in the Nasdaq are either startups or company that are growing, and they leverage their growing with debt, right? So why tech is most sensitive to the yield? Because an indebted company needs the loans to keep growing, right? And if the loans get more expensive, it's more difficult for them to keep, financing their operations and their growth, right? That's mainly why the NQ is more sensitive to the bond yield, right? That gives you a benchmark to what the loan cost, or the cost of financing for them. On the contrary, a very mature company like Caterpillar, those value companies, they don't need as much as finance. They're already, they have free cash flow and stuff. So we have the bonds are bullish, rates are down. CL is flat pretty much for today. Yesterday we had a pretty rough day for crude oil. And there is one interesting economic release today, and is the EIA short-term energy outlook. And if you go investing.com, it marked it off like a very important news today, because this is a report that we don't care about normally, right, in normal times. But now with what is happening, the war, and what is happening in China, this a short-term outlook will give us, a clue of what the government sees is the future with oil. Then we have a couple of speakers. So the yen is still weak relative to the dollar. And this is a very, very important that I wanted to comment. The 5-year break-even inflation rate, the 5-year TEEP, is a bond that is supposedly protected against inflation. Went down yesterday something like 10%. I would say like 7%. That's a pretty rough drop. So my interpretation of this is that the market is not expecting much inflation in the near future. I'm saying 5 years, right? So tomorrow is very important day for the markets, for us, because is the release for the CPI, right? But I have to make this comment. The Fed does not follow the CPI as much as they follow the PCE, right? And that PCE is going to be released by the end of the month, like it's 26 or 27. So that gave us the outlook for today. The NQ just hit my supply from yesterday, right? I don't think it's gonna work again. It's already tested, but nevertheless, it's marked off there. And we can see how it came to the demand that I had on. I think I had it on the video yesterday, right? I had this demand at 170, like my long-term demand. I was not planning to take this, but I know these points are where buyers are sitting at. Why I didn't plan to take it? Because what if the buyer don't come in? We were very bearish, and all the internals yesterday were showing weakness. So it's 30 seconds for the bell, right? And my game plan today is obviously I'm leaning more to the bullish side, but since the overall trend is being down, I would consider some shorts if a zone is created. So we're off. Now reading the tick chart and the ADQD, obviously, right? Very expected. They opened up at extreme high, right? We're breaking the overnight high. Well, the overnight high was created like 15 minutes ago. It's not a. We don't have any COT. We don't have a higher volume node or something nearby, just because we had such a terrible day yesterday. All we have is a gap. So after this, after 5:53, it's all overnight. I think up to 571. And I don't really have any supply right here, but the gap closing. I'm gonna mark it up right here. Right, that can function as a resistance point. Now remember when this rally happens in a bear market, or if the market has a downtrend, the spikes are so brutal because people are forced to cover their positions. It's not like they're buying willingly, right? They don't want to buy, they have to buy, right, to cut their losses, or just the broker just cut their positions, right? That's why that is the reason why the retracements are so brutal. So the market is going up 2.80%, right? That doesn't mean something fundamentally changed from yesterday that we dropped 4% and today we're going up 3%. Nothing changed fundamentally, but the dynamics of the market makes you having these spikes. Now, the VIX above 32, it for me is a big deal. That creates a lot of volatility. Just the fact that the VIX is there and there are a bunch of traders that just trade volatility. Sorry about this. So the supply is still holding right there. I don't see anything formed just yet. The ADQD is holding the extreme high. Now I wouldn't be impressed if this market just retraced everything to the lows.
Surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's fairly lower volume today compared to yesterday. That makes me even more bullish. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to find areas where I can trade. I would not be trading any overnight. I don't have any high quality overnight, like high volume. The only place that I could think of is down on the 170. Can you figure that? So we're 300 points below. Like, it makes no sense. It's not for that. So we have the 7-minute has 2 more minutes to close, and the 3 minutes is gonna close in 15 seconds. Alright, I'm gonna let it breathe a little bit. And if I'm gonna go short, I don't want to plan for like a 10-to-1 trade as of yet. I want to see what's the reaction of the market before. So I have this this area here is aligned with this sort of support that now is resistant, right? It has a nice formation where I can show you guys in 1 minute, right? We have this balanced area where buyers were trying to get in there, but now the tick came to the zero line and it started to bounce, but the market is still dropping. So what I want to see here is this. I want to show you guys. Let me put myself here and a little bit smaller, right? What I want to see here is, all right, so please subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel and like the videos if you like the content, right? So what I want to see here is this thing probably making a retracement here and the price going back to my zone, right? And then collapse from there. That's the tick, right? The ADQD started to, you know, like retrace back down. Remember, if you're not speculating, if you're just a trader, and if you're are not a trader, if you're not a trader, you're an investor, and you see these type of drops like yesterday's one, right? There's a high chance that you can say, wow, there's a rally here, it's time for me to get out, right? I think that's why this type of move happens from time to time. Like I am sensing a lot of fear in the market. Guess what? That is a good time to buy, but the majority of people, they don't buy. When is the right time to buy? So from 76 to 94, I have how much is that? 76 to 94. It's around 18 points, 300 and something. So I want to probably do this. 80 to 97 is 340. So here is how much.
Order submitted.
$300.
Order
right?
canceled.
So I'm gonna keep this order here, right? See what this does. I like the 7-minute ideal for me. It didn't came to the zone, but the 7-minute is behaving nicely. Like I don't want this to go down. I don't want this to go down and then go up. No. I want this to go up from here to here and then boom, this, right? And this might take more than one candle. Who knows? Yeah, the tick chart looks pretty weak for now. And my risk per trade today is $319, right? All right. Alright, so I have these areas overnight. It's not something that I would trade out, but it can cause a retracement here. Tick chart looks pretty weak right now. We might have to wait for a second 7 minutes or so to do this. And I hope this area works. I really hope this area works so we can have our retracement and then finally short from here. What time is that crude oil report? That's good to have in mind. It comes out in 17 minutes, so I figured 10 a.m. Let's put an alert, right? Because we want to be aware of that. Let's put an alert here of 15 minutes, so we know. Let's put 16 minutes, so we have 2 minutes in advance. Look, guys, is the important thing about the reports is not what the result is, right? We want to be aware of the volatility that is causing the report. So if the report comes out, it might cause, some volatility in the market. You have to be aware of that. Interesting. Tonight we have a CPI in China. I mean, those numbers are not 100%, how do you say, trustable?
Reliable.
Reliable. Wow. But nevertheless, they're coming out tonight, 9:30. So we're gonna have a new 15-minute candle in what? 1 minute. This looks no bueno. A fake out to the upside looks very, very bad for the market. Like, I hate when I'm going long and I have those type of fake outs. It's not that I trade much breakouts. I haven't traded any in this market, but I don't usually do breakouts. But from time to time, I take some breakouts, and I have very specific rules for the breakouts. You know, when I take one, I go over my rules for the breakout because they're very not easy though. Breakouts for me are most difficult trades to make. But nevertheless, if I want to go long and I have this fake out to the upside, that's not good. All right, so we have negative numbers now in the tick. So you have these. Now I want to see if I have any sort of a high quality demand here that I can rely on. Like, I will put this one, which I don't like, but here, there we go. So I might have this one better. Yeah. I might have this one better. So I want to be aware of the demands, because if I'm trading short, I want to see where this thing can turn around, right? So this was midnight, and then I came back like at 7. Then Forex, New York market opened up here around 8, came back up. Now let me see what the dollar is doing. All right. So the dollar is neutral bullish right now, right? The last 15 minutes has been going up. Now with the 10-year yield has been holding there. So if we change our bias to a bullish dollar, that means this is a risk update, because we have the yen going up, then we have the dollar going up, and then we have the bonds going up. That's by definition a risk update. I get rid of this demand here, and I'm gonna try to find something here. Alright, so there we go. I have this. Let's see how this works. If this one comes up here and then comes back down and then goes up here, there you go. This one comes back in and then back down. Yeah, no retracement, George. Damn, these markets are pretty weak. So right now I have a very, very bearish tick, right? And I have a very, very bearish. I'm gonna show you guys here. This but smaller. I don't want to bother you guys with this. All right. So I have a very bearish ADQD for now, and the tick is creating new lows, and it is not going for new highs. This is amazing. The market just gave up 1.5%. So new 5-minute. So the 30-minute has 10 more minutes to go. And the one that it looks very, very weak is an NQ. Believe it or not, NQ, I think it dropped the most. I've heard some people saying that trading is supposed to be boring, right? Our trading is very boring, isn't it? You hear?
Our trading is very boring.
right, so
Trading should be very boring.
I think, because if you take the emotion out, the emotions out, it's gonna become boring. Even though I don't know, boring is not an emotion. Being boring is a state. We guys appreciate your comments. Feel free to comment at any time with any questions that you might have. So we've been dropping without a retracement. We will have a retracement. Now on the retracement, I gotta be aware of if it's a retracement or is a new trend developing, right? So how do I do that? I don't want to be I don't want to see new highs in the tick chart or the ADQD. I just want the ADD and the tick retracing to the same levels or lower, or lower, right? If I see price going back up and creating new highs here in the tick chart, I will doubt the move. I will not take the short, right? For now, it's not creating a new high, and it was creating a new high here. So how much is this risk? Let me calculate this.
Order submitted.
$400, so it's not allowed for me. So let me cancel this order.
Canceled.
And display is short. Right. 3047 is
order submitted.
$325. Yes, there you go. So we'll try to go here for a. I think I can make more than 2-to-1 in this trade with 2.5. Yeah, I have a long here. See that? I have a long trade here. Alright, so price is going up, right? The tick chart did not create any new high. Now I don't see anything here on the left in this candle that can stop price to go up, right? Like here, I don't see anything here, right? In this candle. So there's nothing opposing the move here. So I think it's gonna be a free path to my order, right? And when it gets there, I need to see this not going above my high on the tick. Period. That's all I need. If I see something that is going above that high, I will be canceling this order. Right? And for now, it's doing it correctly. I think it's doing okay. The 3-minute looks exhausted. The 7-minute is still 3 more minutes, so there is some room for it to retrace. I'm in this trade, right? I was close to 1-to-1. Yeah, now I'm 1-to-1, so I'm gonna bring the stop to break even, right? And I don't have anything else here but to wait for it to hit my. Oh, I'm not showing it. I'm about to see it went 1.5 to 1. So I'm gonna alright, so
Target filled.
there you go. So we hit target 2 to 1. I don't want to be overly aggressive with this. We've been going up, right? And we have some conflicting areas here at 12,387. 12,387. So we already have a 2 to 1, right? And we can care less of what this market does right now. Now here's my doubt for the short again. It created a high, it created a low, now it's a higher low, right? So what we traded here was a tradable reaction. Tradable reaction means what it means, like what the word says, right? It gets to the point, it reacts, and then we drop the money real quick, and then we reevaluate to see what the market might do. So tradable reactions, usually you have to go for a shorter target than for instance, a pullback continuation. Pullback continuation setup, it allows you to go for farther target. All right, we will have the report released in 2 minutes, right? We want to wait and see what this thing does. All right, do I want to take this supply again? This one? The tick is not clear. Like I have a low, right, and I have a high, and then it created a higher low. Now, being created a higher low, I don't trust it right now. So I want this thing to create a lower low and then don't go above my high before I take this. Why? Because and look, also the ADQD is retracing back up. So I want to see the ADQD, and I'm gonna mark up these things, right? So you guys can appreciate it. Look, this is what my chart looks like. There we go. Let me move this here a little bit. All right. And subscribe. There we go. All right. So if you see here, you can see how it created a high. Now it created a low. Now I want this thing to go back down here, right? Creating probably another low and then another high around here. The blue area. Oh, that's so lovely for my shorts, right? But for now, it created this low. But what if it does this and creates a new high? So my shorts don't want to work. Also, we have this one pointing up, right? So let's be careful with the shorts right here. Let's wait. That's good part of trading, waiting. Going back to my main chart. We didn't have any volatility off of the energy report. All right, now it created a new low. So this short might be in good shape. So I don't want to see the 7-minute run over my trade. So I'm gonna put a short, right? So here's 20. There we go. All right, nice. So the tick chart created a new low, right, which was lower, right? So that confirms that the shorts might keep working. So at the time of my entry, I want this not going above this high or the blue area that I showed you guys before. I really want to see this below at the time of the fill. Now I'm not taking the whole area. You guys know the reason. Risk management, right? And it's 12 seconds for this 3-minute to close. I don't wanna trade this, but after the next candle, right? And I want this to go up. There you go. All right, it went beyond my thing, and I never put the order because the 3-minute was too bullish for me to trade, and I don't want to be a run over the 7-minute, which is very, very bullish right now. It has a lot of momentum. So we're back in the original area, right? From where we dropped yesterday and today earlier. So I figure we will encounter more sellers here, but let's see what happens. Let's see if the sellers are strong enough. Now that I'm thinking, this low created on the tick was not very solid.
Connection.
I don't know what's going on with my Ninja. It's get disconnected and then reconnected. You hear?
And it connects by itself.
Sometimes I just need to reset the platform. But it makes no sense. Like at my trade station is still running.
Happened to mine also.
Oh, so it's Ninja though. I'm seeing something off here. The time. Probably the internet? Could have been the internet?
I don't think so, because the YouTube is still running.
It is.
And I can't even reconnect.
Yeah, I'm on. This looks like it's gonna continue going out, right? It's not breaking lows here. Now remember, I do not trade breakouts or for me is a retracement to the area, and then I'll trade it long.
That may be why they sent out the new update, Ninja.
It might be. Yeah, we'll need to update. So we took a short here. We made 2R, and then I had some other shorts, but I didn't trust them because of what the tick chart and the ADQD are doing. So I haven't taken any other trades. You can go back to the recording and see my trade later. I'll be hunting for another trade here. George, take over for a little bit. I'll leave you with George.
What's up, everyone? So we have NQ coming up on the highs from the open. For me, if it gets stalled up there at these highs, let me pull up the NQ chart here. It's basically at the high at the open. If it stalls up here, I'll be looking to get in short, but I'd like to see it begin to roll over as part of a confirmation. For me, the tick chart for the NQ that I have here hasn't really shown any strength to the upside. It's basically been below the zero line the entire morning. So not giving me very much confidence in the long. Not to mention the ADD, though it is in positive territory, hasn't really gone anywhere. It's basically sideways, if not trending down, especially if it decidedly comes down from where it's at right now. So I'm still more interested in a short. It has to break the that high and hold above for me to start looking for longs. Well, that's an extreme tick down. Didn't break a low, but got to the negative 600.
That area is still working.
Yeah.
Look how it looks at the 30 minute. The 30 minute does not look bearish. Let's see how it goes. Like if I'm watching the RTY.
Even the 1 hour. I would like to see it retest the highs on the NQ and not break out. as more of a confirmation to take it short. So that's what I'm looking at, unless it breaks the highs.
We can see. Can you put me on?
Yes, sir.
I want to show here the 30-minute. We don't trade candles here. We trade patterns and correlations. But here, there's something that it gets my attention. Right? The RTY, which is this one. The RTY here does not look very bearish, right? That doesn't mean the RTY is going to drag all the markets, right? But if I want to be on the probability side of the trade, I want to see everything lined up. The RTY here did not break noons. The high, like the NQ, went to the high from yesterday, right? The RTY didn't get there. Alright, so now we see something that is better for us. We have three markets dropping, right? And Nasdaq NQ is giving up. NQ is trying to give up here. It's trying to drop, right? So what we see here is, all right, now we go back to let me give me 1 second. Okay, we go back here, right? And we can see, all right, so tick chart looks bearish again, like created this high, right? Now it's creating a low. Now when it comes back up, I don't want this to shoot up like this, right? I want it to be contained within a range here. And we have this, right? Which is basically with no trend, but it didn't create any high, right? Let's see how this goes. We need more time for this to give us direction. Alright, so right now I see the tick. I don't want to see this above this circle. If I see this above the circle, it makes me skeptical of the shorts, right? Obviously, there are a lot of orders there. There are a lot of selling orders there. Hasn't been broken.
You don't have a new zone there at the high?
No, Let's see if this gets absorbed by buyers. And for that to happen, we need time. Do not trust the demand though. Don't take the demand at 433.
No, I'm looking to get short. I'd like it to go a little bit higher, not break any of these highs. And obviously if it breaks the highs, then any shorts would be invalidated. But I'm not sold on the tick or the ADD showing any strength.
No, not really. So 1 minute and 49 seconds for the 7. Now the 7-minute pattern looks very, very bullish. I don't see that in the internals. I don't see bullishness in the internals, but I was reading an article yesterday, I think, in the Wall Street Journal that says the buyers went into a strike. There were no buyers yesterday. impressive how they can stop people out with those candles. The share bar is 35 points. The 500 share bar is just 35 points. That supply is still working. There's a lot of sellers there. Now we have the weakest market is the Dow. The second weakest, I would say, is the ES. The third weakest, I would say, is the NQ, and then I have the RTY, like the strongest.
Four minutes left in this 30-minute.
Yep. What is the 5 minute doing? The 15 is crap.
Even the 30-minute is pretty crappy.
Yeah.
Selling neutral. certainly hasn't made a decision in the last hour and a half.
So George and I created this channel for two reasons, right? The first reason is because we're having tons of fun. And the second reason is the accountability that it gives us. We want to trade the more transparent and clear way, so we can grow the channel in a legit form. So the accountability that this gives us is brutal. You have no ideas. I've missed trades because I want to take the best trades, and I'm cherry picking, but all we do here is for the good, right? I think we can have fun, trade well, grow the channel, and make money. How much was this? Let's see here. Control F4. Oh, it barely went 2-to-1. Nice. I wanted to trade short here above the red line, but never got there.
For 30 seconds in this 30-minute candle. New 30, that last 30 closed somewhat bearish, but neutral bear.
Now, after a big down day, is fair. Now, the markets are going up almost 2%, but it's fair for the market to just breathe a little bit, right? Nothing drops non-stop, nothing goes up non-stop. It's not healthy. 50 seconds for the new 3 and 150 for the 7. I don't see any higher volume after the open, so this thing is just going with the flow. There's no buyers or big buyer or big seller after the open. So the Dow, even though it's the weakest one, it got to a point where it's bouncing. Very bullish candle on the 3-minute. I still have this downtrend on the tick, even though it's holding right there. We might get a spike here. This is very cluttered, right? This chart looks very cluttered, but we might get a spike here, to here, and then here. That'll be ideal for me, so I can trade this area. I'm more leaning to the bear side right now. I was bullish in the open after the open, but right now I see a steady drop and a lot of weakness. Now let's go to the context. Oh, dollar keeps going up, so it hasn't stopped, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so it's still going up. The yen is holding right there. And the bonds are up, holding up. Let me get rid of this too. This was a demand that worked for a little bit, but not anymore. It's not very likely that we will have this. I see too much weakness. What we can see is probably this here, and then something more, and then like this. That might be it. Yeah. So what I'm seeing right now is that the tick chart is getting narrower and narrower. That means that we will have less retracements, but instead of retracements, we might have just steady drop. For this to change directions, there has to be some changes on the tick chart, and it hasn't happened yet. So for me, this thing will drop until we see something in the tick chart. Even with that spike that went up like for 15 minutes, even with that spike, we didn't have any strength on the tick. So the market looks pretty weak for now. Like it can change at any time, but alright, it went to my demand. There are 2 more minutes to go in this segment. I hope this demand holds so I can have a little bit of retracement and trade at that area at 12, 14, 13. 12, 4, 13, sorry. Today is freezing in here. It's been very boring. So I want to see when it gets here. And this thing gets up here. And then this, right? I want to see here. I want to see here. This, I'll show you guys. I want to see this. I want to see this up here. Not up here. You see? If I this here, right? And the candle is fairly, you know, old, meaning this minute candle is 50 seconds old or 45 seconds old, then I'll pull the trigger. But if this candle opens up here, there's a chance that this can happen, right? So I don't want that. I want to time this the best I can. And like I said, this thing is shrinking, showing no signs of retracement or volatility. And the more I read this, the more I learn. And obviously, look at this. Now this thing is breaking to the downside, right? Confirming the like I said in the morning, I would not be surprised if we give up the plus 3% that we were. We were like 2.8% or something, right? False breakout to the upside. Oh my God, that's not good. Right, I'll show you here. So this false breakout here, it's a sign that they're trapping traders. They're just trying to get the orders there. Momentum traders that want to take the overnight high and stuff. They just want their orders, right? They just want their buy so they can sell. And this has been a steady drop, slowly. That means big orders are selling. Now tomorrow we have CPI, right? I don't trust much the CPI number because I think that's already baked in, and big funds, they can do their own surveys, and even though it impacts the market, I think the market is already positioned to it. So that's why I don't see the economic news like something like a variable that determines my trading. I just see it as a point where the volatility is going to come into the markets, right? Because I don't use those reports. A lot of other people, they use those reports. It's my belief that it's not the right way to trade, right? The best way to trade is with the charts. I think the price is king. Price is what drives everything. If you guys see my charts are pretty clean. I don't have EMAs. I don't have. I don't even use volume much. I have it there just to see the spikes, right? Like, for instance, I haven't seen any important here, but look at this one. This one is a little bit, right? But yesterday we had more spikes. Like, all right, like look at this. You see that above average? You see this? That's why I have the volume here, but it's not something that determines my trading. Now the tick and the ADQD, those are not indicators. Those are internals. This is real time, while indicator lags. The indicator gives you a data that is lagging. Is depending on price. So price has to change for the indicator to move. So that doesn't work, right? Because we trade and we want to time the market. The indicator is giving you something that has already passed, right? Whereas the tick chart and the ADQD, they're live. Here is saying, all right, we had 2,500 companies going positive, right? Now we have something like 400, right? That's real time. And I want to show you guys this also, right? This is a thermometer that I used to. That I use also is this. Let me move myself here. I don't know if you guys will appreciate this much. I mean, let me try to move myself. There you go. All right. Damn, the subscribe thing is covering me. But I use this watch list, right? I said in the morning, my watch list was 90% positive, and like 70% of it was volatile to the upside, plus 1% or something. Now, if I see here, I got like 127 companies, right? And around 70, I would say like 55% are in the red, right? And from that, I have like 45, I would say. That is how much, like, from that is like, but like, from that 50%, I would say is like 70% are volatile to the downside, right? So that's why we see this. That's why we see this drop, right? Sudden drop. Now, for me, my portfolio is pretty biased. It's not the whole market. It's pretty biased. Like I have here Affirm, SoFi, P-Tone, Roblox. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 company in the red, the lagging companies, all those are money losing companies, right? And the market is just don't liking those companies right now. Why? Because if we go into recession, those are the first ones that tend to disappear, right? So my watch list is pretty biased. These are the companies that I love, right? But nevertheless, it gives me a clue, right, of what the market is doing. Like, look at this. This changed along with this, right? So this is confirming the move, right? I haven't seen any spike here. I don't know if you guys see it. Let me see. Somehow you guys don't see it, but that's fine. Yeah, here. I haven't seen any spike. For me to trade this, it has to be around here, right? And I want to try to be sure, not sure, but the probability has to be that when it's here, is close to the closing of the candle. I don't want to see a young candle here. I don't want to see a 10 seconds in the 1 minute, because this can do this, right? I don't want this. This means I'm going to be stopped out. Alright? So I'll come back to the main chart. So this demand, I was hoping this demand could have brought the price here so I could do this, but like I said, the narrowing in the tick chart just tells me we're just gonna have a steady drop without retracement. Alright, so it's 10:50. We've been here for almost 1.5 hours. I think I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna keep doing trades. If I have another trade, I will record it and I will post it. But for now, the market looks pretty weak. Let's see what happens the rest of the day, and I'll see you all guys tomorrow. And I hope you like this. If you like these videos, please share and subscribe and thumbs up. Thank you for being here.
See you guys tomorrow.